All right, part two, cut or action. What I should preface with this in the first 30 seconds is I started this podcast about 45 minutes ago, just went to shut it out and realized I didn't record any of it, so it pays to check your recordings. So I'm going to have to run back through it. We're just going to, like, hell yeah, this is the price. This is the price you pay. All right, and we're live. So I took a 2 day break, not intentionally. Um, like I said, still trying to keep this secret, but Tuesday, Wednesday, I did a little podcast at night. Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, did a podcast. Or maybe I started on Monday. Anyway, then we got Thursday. Thursday after work, went right to the gym after work, came back home, laid down for a bit, got a shower. Then went to last night a bowling league. So it was me, friend Jared, and Russ, who's a random. He's a 77-year-old guy, but he was just assigned to our team. So we had a 3-man team. And, after seeing Russ for 14, 15 weeks straight, he's just like genuinely one of the nicest guys ever. First 2 weeks of bowling, this was like, I've never truly bowled like this ever. Like I bowled before, but it was never great. Get there, Russ goes, "Hey James, I got a ball for you." I was like, "Oh really?" He goes, "Yeah, bring it on by. You could have it, get it filled and drilled." Not what I meant. Threw me off my game. I threw myself off my game. Anyway, he donated me a bowling ball, and like, I got an old one. I don't use it anymore. You could use it. It's 15 pounds. It's like awesome. So I got it drilled, and then bowled with it. Dude, this man, he gave me the pointers. Always like compassionate. They tell you kind of what you did wrong, but not in like a fucked up way. Like, you didn't hit your mark. Like, always look right at where you want that ball to go. Don't even look at the pins. Look at the mark on the lane. You hit that mark, you'll be good. That is like, you throw the ball. It's like you pick up the phone, bring your hand up to your ear almost. So then you get that natural curve. I went from being like a mediocre, shitty bowler to being able to bowl. I bowled my first 200, and my first 200 was 218. My first 200 game ever. I never even took a picture of it. I should have. Someone told me, "Oh, you didn't take a picture of it?" I was like, "No, I should have." In the moment, I was just so excited to bowl 218. It didn't even matter about the picture. It's like, I'll always remember that. Absolutely cooked that game. So yeah, it's gonna be sad not seeing Russ every week. I hope he does well. So that was Thursday. Thursday had a couple beers as well. Stayed out after. Came home late. Had work the next morning at 7. You know, every time I stay out late, it's like, I gotta go. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, I gotta go. But I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna have one more. I'm gonna stay, do one more, whatever, hang out for a little extra longer. Then it's like I'm just there way too long for no apparent like benefit. I like hanging out with friends, but I also don't like showing up to work and being like groggy. Yet I still do it to myself. I don't know. You know, My boss told me this. I showed up late the one day. He goes, "Listen, I don't care what you do outside of work, but you could stay out till whenever the night before. You got to get here on time." One day I stayed out too late, passed out on the couch. Phone died. Knew my phone was gonna die. Was at my friend's apartment. I wake up on the couch. Look, the TV was on, but it was like that fucking like passive screen. I don't know what to call it, where it shows like pictures of the world or whatever. And I see 7:38, and I go, fuck. And I just get up, go right to work. I think that night I was pretty banged up, but my friends took my phone and were charging it for me, but I didn't know where. I literally was just like, I'm late for work. I gotta go. Got up, got my keys, got my shoes on, went right to work. No, I didn't went right to. I didn't go right to work. It was kind of like because I didn't have my phone, no one could contact me. Got up, went to Wawa. Because like at this point, I'm like, what are you gonna do? Go to Wawa, get a breakfast sandwich, get a drink, sit in the car for longer than I should have. Show up to work. It's like 8:15. Get there, walk in, clock in, go see my boss. He goes, have a seat. Sit down. He's not like being rude, which I was very grateful for. Because like I mean, what are you gonna do? He had every right to be a little mad, but anyway, he's like, I was 21 once, and blah blah blah. Like I did this because my dad always told me, doesn't matter what you do the night before, you just gotta. It can't prohibit you from being at work on time. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm looking at him. My eyes are just like bloodshot. Just like anyway, I get to work, throw my phone. Oh wait, that was a different time. I'm blending the times. Fuck. Anyway, I get up. I did have my phone this time, but it was dead. Put my phone on the charger at work. See all these missed calls from everyone. Like there's three people who work at my job. There's a coworker, and then the boss, and then that's it. And my coworker, because he's friends with my brother, he always calls my brothers like, "Where's James?" I'm like, bruh, fucking don't worry about me. Leave me alone. If I show up, I show up. If I don't, I don't. Right? So he calls my brother like 15 times. My brother answers, calls my dad, and then my mom gets tied into it, and everyone's like, "Where's James? Where's James?" And then he shows up at my friend's apartment. I had already left for work. Like I already got up and was gone. Friend's like, "Oh, he might have drove home last night." I would like I would never do that. Didn't drive home because I was pretty drunk, and I have done it. That's besides the point. But when I know I'm not driving. Anyway, go go to work. My dad shows up to their apartment, knocking on the door. My friend doesn't have to be up for work till like 8, so no, it doesn't have to be up for work till like 8:30. So he wakes my friend up. He's like, I don't know. He just woke up. It's like he must have drove home last night or something, which didn't happen. I slept on that couch until 20 minutes before that conversation. So then my dad thinks I drunk drove home and crashed in a ditch somewhere. Then my mom gets angry at me for not telling them where I was. Like, I'm on a tangent right now, but like that kind of annoyed me. It's like, first of all, you thought I would drive home like that. Negative aura. You just went down. Then my parents think that I'm dead in a ditch. I'm like, hell, Riz. My coworker calling my entire family to make sure I get to work. It's like, shut up. You know, I don't, I don't, I don't want you meddling in everything just because I work with you. Like, make sure James gets to work. Shut up, dude. I'm getting real resentful right now just thinking about this story. It was all my fault. I understand. But I hate how so many people care about me, dude. I don't hate it, but I just don't worry about me. Stop worrying about me. I don't like that. I don't like when people show affection towards me. I don't like when people rely on me. Damn. Bro, Cody's me. Just let me be me. It's just annoying. And then everyone's like, oh, you can't do that. You're going to get fired. I don't even take the benefits from my work. So what's the point? Out of spite, honestly. I don't take the benefits from my work out of spite. That's a fucking gnarly spider. Holy. That gave me chills. Yeah, so I have the benefits from my work. So I have like 401k, dental, health insurance, all that. And oh my god, that's creepy. This spider's just floating around. Have all this benefits for my work. Send in all the papers to get them done. They're like, oh, you didn't finish this or this, and I need you to finish all these. But like, they were like JPEG something. They were like PDFs. So I had to print them out at work, send them back in. Like, oh, we still need this from you. And then my boss would bother me every like couple of days, being like, did you get the email from him to send to him? And I'm like, yeah, I got it. He goes, all right, make sure you do that. I'm like, all right, cool. And then the more he was trying to like be like, oh, make sure you get it done, the less I was like, I'm not doing that anymore. You've ruined it for me. So I have 401k benefits that I'm purposely not taking, and that's like self sabotage kind of thing. But I already have my. I gotta keep an eye on this spider. He's starting to blend in. I already have my like Roth IRA getting maxed out yearly. I think that's enough. It's just, ugh. Maybe I don't want your benefits. So that way, when I leave, I don't have a long process of leaving. I can just leave. I think I spiraled out of control real fast. I don't like when people help me, but I like helping people. Weird. Like, fucking leave me alone. I've always been like that. In the worst point of my life, I was like, no one help me. I just want to. I just want to go down with it. And then now I am here right now. I've significantly turned around my life from where I was at one point. Yo, watching this spider knit this web, it's kind of sick. Yeah, but I had a lot of rough patches in my life so far. Not a lot, but like major big ones. And you know, you always get through it. Just don't help me get through it. I don't want your help. I don't want nobody's help. Yet. I think there will be a time where I realize it's good to get help from others in all aspects of life. But right now, I just kind of want to figure it out myself. I've had one of my like top top five aunts in the family. Don't see her often, but she's always just not like good aunt to see. She told me before I turned 21. This was at the beginning of the year. They live in Chicago, but they came here, and she goes, 20s are for you to just test everything out. No, not necessarily do anything. No need to truly lock down and get stuff. Like, there's no need to have the answers in your 20s, but you just got to test everything out, do all this stuff. Don't let it burden you. Like, you're not doing enough. And I've had people tell me that before, but something about the way she said it, she was like, "Live it up, man." I was like, "I like you. I like you, Aunt Shannon. Thank you." Technically my cousin, but she's my aunt, so call her my aunt. So I'm just doing what I want to do in my 20s. I don't want no help. Also, I don't think I have the facilities to truly like if I were to ask someone for help, I don't know what I would ask help with, if anything. I feel like a lot of life is you have like the social connections with the people around you, but if your work has no ties to yeah. Like it's not like I need true networking for my job. Not like going out and meeting people and being like, "Hey, I work in sales. You need 50,000 pieces of paper." Doesn't make sense. I understand it's a good skill to have, be able to talk to people and just figure it out, but I don't care. I don't care. Looking at the bats fly around right now, they're eating bugs. I think anxiety is a good thing though, because even though she said live it up in your 20s, kind of just no rush to truly do anything. It always like you'll figure it out. What is that like looming anxiety? I guess of just like something's not right. I should be doing more. But yeah, that's something not right. I should be doing more. Like thought that keeps coming into my head is like all it makes you want to do is just take a couple deep breaths and just relax. But that's like who I am, I guess. Like I'll always have that like anxiety in me. It's never crippling. And when it does get to a crippling level, it's just like get up and go do stuff. And then I get up and go do stuff and there's no time for anxiety anyway. So I always know the way out of it. Sometimes I just sit with it though. Like earlier today, I was sitting inside, got done my haircut, sitting inside for way too long. I got to the point where I was on Instagram, swiped off Instagram, closed out the app, clicked right back into it, scrolled, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's like disgusting." Like literally, genuinely disgusted myself, and then that was the like initiation to coming out here and starting this, and then realized that I did a whole 45 minutes talking to just a camera that was on. It was not recording, so you make mistakes. Everyone does, I think. The people I had a guy I used to work with at one of the restaurants. He goes, and we would talk about this in terms of like stock market wins and losses. He goes, as much as I win on like my investments, I always tell you that I've had losses in there. And he goes, don't trust someone who only talks about their wins, because the real thing is everyone's got losses. If they're not telling you that they lost something, that they had like a bad trade or a bad investment, you can't trust them. They're not necessarily like open to being on. Like if you purposely, it's not like they're lying, but at the same time they're purposely not telling you a truthful fact that they did lose money in the stock market. He said everyone's lost something in the stock market. Anyone who tells you they didn't, they're lying. This is Craig, by the way. Me and Craig were always, bro. He was valet, but he would sit out there by himself. I would always walk by, sit there, talk to him for a couple couple minutes a shift. Sometimes shift will get done, like it would start slowing down. I go sit out there, talk to him for like 20, 25 minutes. Just one of the nicest guys ever. Gave me a lot of great advice. He would always tell me when the I think it was IPOs. He would always tell me when the IPOs were coming out for certain companies, when like when Amazon was going to do a split, when Tesla was going to do a split. He's like, I got in there already, doing a 6-to-1 split for Tesla or something. It was either 6-to-1 or 12-to-1. I just enjoyed talking to him so much because we both valued talking about the same thing at a work environment where no one else really was talking about that. I really bonded with him, and he was always like, "You always smile," and I was like, "That's right, you know, good day to be alive." It really is. Every day is great. It's a great day to be alive. Truly beautiful. Even just sitting in the dude, it is so weird to sit out here from light till it starts to get dark. Your eyes like just they change with the dimming of the light. Like I can still see out back into the woods right now, but it's at such a dark, it's such a low light scale. Like your body naturally reacts to its environment. Still, we've been out of the wilderness for a while. Oh my god, that felt so weird. Oh my god, I did not like that at all. Oh, that was a huge bug. It gave me the chills. Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Oh my gosh. That was the closest you ever see to me panicking ever. Goosebumps immediately. I just still feel like icky. Ooh, that bug's on my shirt. I'm gonna freak out. By freak out, I mean get up and walk around real quick. Oh my gosh. I still feel that. It was like a heavy bug. Hit me in the back of the ear. Ooh, ooh. Completely threw me off. Spider's still going, making this web. Caught a couple bugs so far. That's his job, bro. That's his entire life, making webs, catching bugs. Making webs, catching bugs. Bro, so meticulous. Like the way his legs move to wind the web. Be shooting that shit out their ass. I mean, that's gorgeous. Like, there's so much beauty here. But there's some people who never see it or never look for it, really. Damn. I always try and look for it. Usually, when my day starts to go bad, it's because I haven't consciously tried to look for the good things. But I've been doing this, I've been on this kind of thought process, thought pattern for a couple years now. It's made probably the most dramatic change in my life ever. From this shit sucks to the fact that I even get to be alive right now is amazing. And then with that comes less anxiety. You still get it, but you know it's like you can consciously like rewire your brain, especially at an age where your brain is still developing. Nothing really gets set in. Gorgeous. De la vie. It's just like the lives that everyone lives are always so unique to the situation that they been exposed to throughout their entire living experience. It's like, oh man, there's some people who just love being like in deep wilderness, kind of like camping, hiking, hunting, stuff like that. There's some people who are just like city rats, not in a bad way, not like actual rats, but they just crave that constant movement of the city. There's always something going on. It's because they grew up there. And why would you leave what's like comfortable? I grew up right in between outdoors and city, like outdoors. I mean, like more wilderness kind of area, not like Alaskan bushcraft stuff, but I see trees every day. I don't just see concrete jungles. Experiences craft the person you become. I don't know if that's true or not, but it might be. You have a good experience in a city, you might be more driven to live in the city. If you have a bad experience in the city, you might be more driven to not live there. And vice versa. If you had a bad experience growing up in kind of like rural, kind of foresty areas, you wouldn't want to live there. But if you had a great experience growing up there, that might be where you stay for the rest of your life. I have no idea what I want to do with my life outside of becoming a stand up comedian. Why wouldn't you shoot for the best job in the world? I don't get it. I have like a true respect for people who work that 9 to 5 till retirement fully content. I have no guarantees or I have no issues with if I had to work like a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life that I would still be content. I think I would. But why wouldn't you like I kind of have a desire to try and do something more. Something more scary, but also that was more rewarding. Because on the other side of fear is like the biggest dopamine hit of your life. Gives you all that ooey gooey brain squirts. Love that. I live for those. But there are good and bad types of brain squirts. We're gonna stick to the good types with the occasional bad squirts. All right, that was it. A little half hour because I accidentally pre. I did a 45-minute one beforehand and then never recorded it. Put down that bombshell.